Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to another episode of GameCorp. This is the one and only gaming podcast that you will ever need. I am your host once again. My name is Matt Hedrick, and here with me in that digital space is Mr. Chad Porto. How are you, sir?
I don't know how to spell go, apparently.
Yeah, all I got on there was Gavuga.
I'm still trying to work out this goddamn keyboard. We only had the computer for like a month and a half. I should have a pretty good idea what's going on by now, but nope. Still a fucking motard.
Is it really like that? Is it really that like bad of a size though, where it's hard to type?
No, I actually like the keyboard. What the problem is the delete and the backspace button and the tab button are all like in a very close proximity. So like if I go to hit one, I'm hitting like all four, and it's like, oh no, this is fine.
Well, because you got big hands too, right?
Bigger than yours, baby hands. If you were a Dick Tracy villain, you would be big head, small hands, McGee.
All you make me think of is the fucking villains in the Super Mario Brothers movie, the Goombas with the tiny heads.
So can I just admit that the scene where Luigi and Mario make them dance is adorable?
It really is, because like that's probably the only like real charming thing in that movie.
Right? Because they're just, I mean, they're people who are turned into dino brains, but they're also just like so goddamn cute. And I am not vibing with who was it? Toad being a no Yoshi being a little fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was bullshit. And our Toad being a dude with a guitar. What the fuck was going on there?
Dude with a harmonica.
Was it a harmonica? I thought it was a
Yeah.
guitar.
No, they gave him a harmonica.
Okay.
It was like one of those like neck strap-on ones. Like, here, put this around your neck, Toad. And he like
Did
he blew
they
into it.
actually
And
like
he went,
shave it in his
"Eh."
head or something?
Yeah, before they made him into a dinosaur, I think.
Jesus.
Because Toad was like a punk rocker.
Because that makes sense.
In 2 weeks when we come back, we're not doing a game review. We're reviewing the goddamn Mario Brothers movie.
You seriously want to do that?
Yeah, I owe you.
Oh Lord. You what?
I owe you.
This is you paying me back by making me watch a shitty movie.
Yes.
I guess I could have fun laughing at it, but I hated that movie for so many years.
You will suffer in your indignities. So we're playing Ninja Warriors. Reviewing Ninja Warriors. Video victim of the week is Amy Rose Longplays from 7 years ago. 6.5 technically, but still. So you sent me this game, and you sent me a picture. I'm like, why don't you just fucking tell me the goddamn title yet and whatever. And I've played this game quite a bit. And it is just as lackluster as I remember.
You really didn't like it, huh?
It's not that I like it. It's just that it's fine. You know?
Is it like just too like little just straightforward, nothing flashy or special really? Is that what it is?
Well, we are doing a show where we review all the reasons why we do or don't like something, so maybe I should just, handle this piece by piece. Because I got some reasons.
Oh, I was just trying to get a scale of it. Okay.
I got some reasons. I didn't watch My Hero Academia yet today. God damn it.
Slacker.
No. I worked until 1 last night. I had the audacity then to try to relax for a few hours.
How dare you?
How dare I? Then I had to get up at 10:30 to go to my nephew's birthday party. He lives an hour and 15 minutes away, so that means that I spent about 2.5 hours driving there and back. After spending 3 hours
that'll
in between,
do something to you.
Oh yeah, after spending 3 hours in between listening to a bunch of children going and crying and bitching and such. Excuse me. I met the laziest father ever. This overweight, early 30-year-old just tapped on his phone while his son annoyed the entire party by dragging his nails on a fireplace grate.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was bad. And he did it repeatedly for minutes on end. And the mother was just like,
Just ugh.
I don't know what the child's name was. So we're going to call him Baron. And she's like, Baron, come to mommy. And the dad's just like, clack, 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 clack. And she's like, could you help me? Baron, go to your mother. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm going to throw that kid outside and see what happens. Because I'm fucking done. Like, I'm not going to harm the kid, but Ohio's notorious for having vultures. Let's see what happens. Buzzards, not vultures. Buzzards. So let's see what happens.
Don't you just hate parents that just don't pay attention to their children either? I
The
fucking
mom,
hate that.
the mom was paying attention, but the mom had this really odd thought that a 1-year-old was going to do what she said.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. No.
No.
No. Not on your life.
And I don't know, man. Like I didn't know anyone there besides my brothers, and I'm just like, why did I come to this?
It wasn't for any entertainment, because this shit's more irritating than it is entertaining.
Well, and like I don't see my niece and nephew enough for them to know who I really am. So it's not like I'm making memories because they don't want to fucking be near me.
Those aren't exactly great memories either, you know?
Right? And like I don't blame them. Like I get it. I'm a fucking stranger. That's cool. But like I don't know. Like can't I just send the goddamn thing in the mail?
I want to be one of those people. Like, yeah, whatever. It's your whatever. Yeah, great.
Well, like I might as well until they're 6 and they can actually, not be such a, just a child. I like how I said that.
They're still a child at 6, dude.
Well, but they remember things better at 6.
Fair enough.
They remember the uncle who brings the cool shit. You brought us a giant goddamn super soaker with a Nerf gun attachment. I sure as fuck did, because I'm the cool uncle.
Did we take a trip to the 90s now?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Because I don't even think kids even play with super.
Well, they should, because they're phenomenal toys.
Because they're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome.
I just watched the commercial for the Skip It.
Oh, God.
So, like, everyone's wearing pastel and neon, so, like, whatever. But then I remember, they had, these 2 little girls who are easily almost 40 now. And, like, they are wearing the most...
The future.
What I like to call this trend is the Daisy trend. And it's just, like, overalls, but, like, with, like, really poofy shoulders on their T-shirts and, like, daisy patterns. And, like, that was, like, circa 1989 to 1994. Like, that was the style. And it was gross. And then grunge. And then what I like to call the extreme era, where everything was, like, neons and, like, black and always had an X instead of an EX. Just extreme Levi's.
Because they're so extreme.
Extreme Dunkaroos. No, Dunkarees. One of those, right? Although the Dunkaroos were extreme too.
They're fucking delicious too.
They were. Dude, shark bites.
The only thing I thought of as soon as you said Skip It was the fucking theme song.
You mean because the
I only
very
remember one
best
line
thing
from
of
it.
all is that there's a counter on this ball.
I hate you. Skip it.
I used to think that they did like a scat man in the middle of it, like the do it wap 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 wap. No, it's like do with the hop to hop to hop, and I'm like, this is stupid. Who wrote this?
Dude, whoever's whipping that shit around in that commercial's got some fucking talent too.
Right?
Like shit.
Like, here's the thing though. I bet you I could skip it to to the moon and back, man. That's not hard. It's all about rhythm.
What a way to have some competition back then as a kid, right? Just jump around this thing for a half hour, see how high you can get.
Well, not high. It's how many rotations you
I
can
don't know
get
how
before
high
you
the number could get them.
Oh, yeah. The best part is, like, the only way you can really fuck up is if you trip over it.
Oh, man. Oh.
Right? Talk about an ankle breaker.
Damn, dude, that's a face plant. Woo.
We sold that shit to kids.
Can't be any worse than fucking Crossfire. Remember Crossfire? Holy fuck.
You'll get caught up in the crossfire. 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 Crossfire by Namco.
Yeah,
No, I have no idea who it is. What is it? Was it a game? What did the theme song sound like? I have no idea what it is. Fucking kid with a goddamn.
All I remember
David
is that
Hasselhoff
fucking
perm
stupid
going,
commercial.
yeah. Like the kid just flew off into oblivion.
Spitting out.
He flew off into oblivion. And this little fucker celebrating the demise of a child.
I killed somebody, yeah.
This fucking David Hasselhoff here.
Oh, man, dude. What
Knight Rider
the fuck?
was
Maggie's
not that
fucked
cruel. Like, come on.
It wasn't that cool to have Mr. Feedy do the car?
No, I said cruel. C-R-U-E-L. Cruel. Cruel, Matthew. Cruel.
Oh, cruel. Sorry, I thought you said cool. I'm sorry.
Dingus. The graphics of this game are fine, and there are 3.
Because everything we said before had to do with that.
Basically. Now the very best thing of all is that there's a ninja with a ball.
You could throw a ball with that ninja in here.
That's the point.
I thought you saw it.
Graphics, Matthew.
Graphics, standard, pretty straightforward. I'd say 3.
I was unimpressed with the audio, but it wasn't bad. This game is going to be a very average game for me. I have nothing wrong with this game, but very little of it I would say stands out. The gameplay reminds me most like Streets of Rage, but I feel like they're on the cusp of something truly great, but they just couldn't nail it with the gameplay. But the gameplay's still solid. But sound, it's just whatever. It's fine. Super Nintendo's not a bad system, but the creativity wasn't what it would become. So 3.
So, okay, I was gonna say I was waiting for the number. Yeah, there's nothing in here that's like particularly memorable sound wise, and as for the effects, they're pretty stock and basic. There's nothing here that like stands out, but not bad though. But I can't do 4 though. It's got to be a 3. It's not that special.
This is going to be the only one I give more than a 3 to, I think. The movements and you know, one of the things I did like was the stylized character modelings, I guess, especially with like the block and the parlays. But for the most part, it's just a button masher with a grapple, which is literally just Streets of Rage. Like this game looks like it's in the Streets of Rage family. It actually looks like it's what's that with the Hagar and he's the mayor? Final Fight.
Oh, Final Fight.
Yeah, this game feels like it's from Final Fight. I mean, maybe it is. I don't fucking know. As far as gameplay
Final
goes,
Fight's Capcom.
Okay.
So, no.
As far as the quality of the game, it's a straight up beat 'em up. Like they could have done a little bit more, I think, but for what it is, it's fine. So I'll give it a 4.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I do. What I think helps it a little bit is that the characters aren't just like palette swaps. There are actual differences to how you approach the gameplay with each one.
Mm-hmm.
One's like a big fucking moving tank. The other one has a like pretty decent reach to him, and one is very fast. So it's like pick your poison of what you feel comfortable with. But I swear to you, I think the only way you can actually beat this game, at least the only way I was able to, was with one character, and that's the ninja character, like the big dude. Because every other character I tried to play with, I can't get them to attack the final boss, and it was really getting on my nerves.
I'm surprised we made it the final boss. Give me a score.
Dick. Um, it's good for what it is though, and the moves and everything are fine. And I'd say 4. I'd say 4.
As far as fun factor goes, you get to play as ninjas, yo.
How's that not fun?
Right? So I'll give it a 3.
I had probably a little bit more fun than you on this one. I always liked beat 'em ups, and I did like some of the moves you could do with some of these characters, and boss fights were pretty fun too, and did have at least some variety to them with how they're presented. So I had a little bit more fun. I think I'm gonna go 4.
Okay. And again, it's a standard beat 'em up with a power meter to do specials. It's your basic early 90s arcade game, sans quarters. So I can't really give it too high. I didn't have nearly as difficult of a situation. The words with the things and the burpers. I didn't find it as hard as you did, twerp. So I'll give it a 3. Nope.
So you didn't have as much of a problem fighting or getting to the final boss, did you?
No. Because I'm not a giant pansy.
Well, it was so you were able to use a different character to break the glass, because the only person I could use was Ninja, just because it was the only one who could like actually throw something up to it.
No, you're supposed to use the guys to throw up the hench douchebags. You throw them.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the only person I could do it directly was him, because he could just walk up and grapple them and then throw the characters. Whereas the other ones had like these push off moves, or like he had to jump and grapple them or something. He was just a literal throw.
Which one did you use? The big one, like the big Terminator looking motherfucker.
Like the cyborg ninja dude or what? Yeah.
Yeah, no, they all have a grapple move. The little ninja, the chick ninja, has a hair flip.
I think the other ninja dude or whatever has like a front kick when he grabs them, if I remember right.
Yeah,
it's like he like pushes off with the kick, and that's kind of hard to get it to go up. But I don't know.
You're just a
maybe it's just me, but
you're just a jam man, baby.
I wonder if there is different endings with it too. I'm curious about that. But as far as challenge is concerned itself, yeah, this isn't particularly that hard, especially when you can just consistently repeat stages. I mean, that's how, most arcade games were. So difficulty kind of goes out the window. 3? I'd say fairly average, 3.
Because the very best thing of all is that we got through this review really fast. So skip it.
And you are being a fucking ass.
Why am I being an ass? Because we got through the review fast.
I'm not saying that. It was the only thing I could get to rhyme.
It didn't.
God damn it. I thought I did. Ah! Fuck.
I'm like, what the fuck? I wasn't insulting you, you cunt. Now I am. 16.5 out of 25 for 66%, you bitch. You've insulted my cow for the last time.
Okay.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Honestly, I have no idea what that's from.
Mulan. Mushu, he's all like, hey, dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. Bet you never heard that one before, Matt.
Nope, that would be a first.
Are you ready for another segment of Useless News?
As a,
With your host, Matt Hedrick. And Chad Porto on the prostitution alert. Now to the front desk. For more useless news.
Thank you, Chad. My name is Matt Hedrick. This is your useless news. Here are tonight's top stories. Up with Star Wars. That's about the best way I can put it. But EA has canceled its third Star Wars game since retaining the exclusive publishing rights to the franchise. According to Kotaku, EA Vancouver and Criterion, which were the creators of the Burnout series, were working on something called Viking. It was supposed to be a spin-off game of the Battlefront series with some open world elements to it. The supposed reason that was given for this cancellation was due to the development being across different countries between both of the companies. Since 2017, EA has had problems with this license. The previous issue was with Ragtag. That was supposed to be an Uncharted type of game that was had the creative director behind that. Amy Hennig was going to do that. And then it was later put into something else, but nothing came from that either. So the basic thing I'm trying to get at is like, I think Disney just needs to just get this away from EA and just put it into somebody else's hands, because what they have made and just what they've done with it in general, and I'm not even the biggest fan, they need to really get it into somebody else's hands, because the only good one to come out of them since they've had it is Jedi Fallen Order, and that's debatable for some people, depending on what you like.
Well, didn't Disney say that they're opening up their IPs now to anyone who wants to work with them?
Yeah, maybe that was their sneaking way of just trying to push them out.
See, now here's the thing we got to remember to quantify. Disney, technically speaking, is its own entity compared to Marvel and Star Wars. You know, Star Wars is technically Lucasfilms, I think.
Okay.
So
I thought they just owned all of the stuff.
No, they do. What I'm saying is, like, the parent company of Disney. You know, Disney owns ABC. You know, the Disney Library, Marvel, Star Wars, Fox Studios. They own all these properties. But you have to remember, when talking about them, specifically speaking, they each have their own studio name or company name.
Okay.
They're just owned under the Disney umbrella. So when Disney said, you know, we're looking to allow people to use our Disney IPs, did they mean Star Wars and, you know, Marvel and yada, yada, yada? Or was it simply just the things that fall underneath the Disney banner, which would be like Even Stevens, you know, fucking Recess, Gargoyles, Andy Mack.
To my best guess, it would probably be anything. But I think most people, after hearing that statement, would tend to focus on Star Wars because it's the most prominent one out of them that, you know, most people gravitate towards, I would believe.
Well, if they still have a deal with EA, then I don't think they were referring to all the specific properties, because Square Enix has a deal with them for Marvel. So I would imagine that what they really meant was, look at our Disney IPs. If you want to do something with it, come talk to us.
Just like an open invitation idea, then.
But for like the Disney characters, like your Mickeys, your Goofies, your Cinderellas, stuff like that. I don't think they mean for Star Wars.
It's just a shame, because there are actually good Star Wars games that have come out, and we've played some of them too. And it's just a shame to see this license like just get shitty after shitty title, you know. That's what I don't like about it. Like I appreciated Jedi Fallen Order because one, it's a single player game, but two, it was actually like there was actual substance to it. There was actually a reason to play it past a certain point. With Battlefront, it's just, oh, this is cool. You can play a couple of modes on a few maps and then you're done. The game's over. Once the next one comes out, the other one's obsolete. So what the fuck's the point? And they tried to put a campaign. I use that in air quotes because the second one didn't really have a campaign as far as I'm concerned. That thing lasted like 2 hours, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody needs to do something. They need to do something with it, or they need to lock down and tell them, you got to start handling these properties better, or else we're going to take you out of it completely. So,
well, we'll see what happens with that. So we had two big changes to two big gaming situations. Yes.
Yeah, the Sony has decided just this week too. They have decided to Sony's decided to cancel 2 convention appearances in a row. One was for the upcoming event PAX East, which is in Boston. That runs from the 27th of February to the 1st of March. And the other is for GDC, which is running from the 16th to the 20th of March. The reason they have given for these is due to the increasing concern surrounding the coronavirus, and the company is deciding to take action to ensure the safety of their employees. Their statement on both GDC and PAX East is pretty stock, but it says, we have made the difficult decision to cancel our participation in Game Developers Conference due to increasing concerns relating to the coronavirus. We felt that this was the best option as the situation related to the virus and global travel restrictions are changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. We look forward to participating in GDC in the future. That was, it's sad to see it, and the one of the reasons why everybody was kind of up in arms about it, or at least was concerned, is that one, you want to always look out for the safety of people, but this was supposed to be their big gameplay reveal thing, trying to push out The Last of Us Part 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake and everything, all the plans were set and ready to go. And only being about maybe less than a week out from the event, it just kind of took everybody by surprise,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I always am of the belief, and I know you are too. It's the safety of people comes first. Games are not as important as the safety of others, no matter what anyone says.
I actively try to find ways to destroy the gaming community on the show, so you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jokes aside, they made the right decision. I mean, if you have concerns about this, frankly, I want to say two vastly different opposing ideas, but they're both very fair. The coronavirus isn't as big of a deal in terms of a pandemic as the media likes to make it think. It's scare tactics. There's, outside of China, there's like maybe 100 people who have gotten this out of 9 billion. Calm the fuck down, people. On the other hand, if you have any concerns about anything, I don't have an issue with you erring on the side of caution. Just don't freak out about this damn thing. Like, cancel it. Dude, drop out. Delay it. That's all fine. Because, we've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't freak out about the damn virus.
There's been panics about everything.
Yeah, just don't freak out about the damn virus, like specifically. Like, it's not going to get you. Like, the few people who have gotten it in very rare circumstances.
Mm.
They're working on vaccines and cures, and, you'll be fine. But I fully support the right to cancel because, it's just, if you have that much fear, I get it.
Yeah, this was just really like shocking to people, not so much for what it was about, but for the fact that it happened so fast, and people are really like concerned on the top of it too, like Sony canceling, not going to E3, not going to this, not going to GDC, all of these things back together. It's like, how are they gonna like And I mean, this is just gaming, so this isn't like as big of a deal as what we're talking about. But like, how are they going to reveal their next system now? Are they going to be doing an appearance? Because nobody knows what the next few months are going to hold from them. I'm pretty sure they will because they did it for the PS4, but I guess time will tell.
Well, they may just not do it at PAX. Maybe they're gonna call up E3. Hey, yeah, what's your August look like?
We're in a bind. Can you help us, please?
The alcohol flu got people scared. Can we use your platform to be like, hey, buy our dumb thing?
That costs too much to make, and people still buy it anyway.
Well, the PS3 cost the same thing. People forget that the PS3 cost, I think, like what do they say, like $600 per unit to make, and they sold it for $450.
Oh, weren't they initially trying to sell it for 600? If I remember,
Yeah,
wasn't that
and everyone's like, "Go fuck yourself."
No, dude, no.
People weren't even showing up for the 450. They're like, "I'll do it when it's 275. How about 300? Deal. Bet."
Granted, Microsoft made one that was cheaper, but it didn't work either. So,
well, I was about to say, Microsoft did make one that was cheaper, and the way they made it cheaper was by making sure it didn't work.
Making sure 33% of them didn't work. Fuck.
I think that's a grossly underestimated number.
You think it was higher than that? Because the
yes.
numbers I always heard were like 33 or a third, like just like a third of all the consoles. That's what I always heard. I think it's at least like maybe what, half?
Matt, every person I know who bought a Xbox 360, every single one had to get it replaced at least twice.
I went through 4 of them.
33% my ass. That may have been the ones that made it. And here's the thing. I mean, sincerely, you really think only 33% of them failed when everyone had more than one issue? No.
I never personally believed the number. I always thought it was a lot more personally.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it wasn't 70%. And the only reason I'm saying 70% and not 100% is because eventually they did fix the problem, like permanently, in newer models of the 360. So like eventually that you would have a 360 that didn't have that rendering of death, but anything before like the second or third generation was doomed to fail.
And the only issue that came from that is that they made that revision, but that revision was so late into the life cycle, you're already moving on to the next system. So what was the point?
They fixed the revision when it was fucking Xbox One. Hey, we fixed the 360 4 years into the Xbox One. Oh, thanks, guys. You were super on top of that.
just like with the original Xbox One. How long did that take them? At least 2 years to get the S out. Like, come on.
And let's be honest, no one wanted that fucking Xbox One. I don't know anyone who bought the Xbox One. I'm surprised Xbox is still in business after the disaster that the Xbox One was.
Their naming alone for their consoles is just fucking stupid.
You know that these are a bunch of like ex-Google, fucking plebes who are like, they walk in with their fingers pressed against one another. You see, we are not making video game consoles, but video game history. We will call this the Xbox One for the concise purpose of the fact that we are back at the beginning of a generation. They're all just clapping with their hands next to each other. Like they're not clapping like normal people. Like they're slapping the back of their hands together. Self-righteous cunts.
Why couldn't they have just been like PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Just number them for fuck's sake.
Mr. Japanese Head. Yes, Mr. Japanese Vice President Head. What shall we call the fourth incarnation of the PlayStation? PlayStation 4? Ah, genius! You've done it again, sir.
Or at least be like Nintendo. At least in a couple of generations, where like the name was based off of the gimmick of the system, at least, other than the Wii. Like
Oh no,
GameCube,
no.
Switch.
The Nintendo Wii is aptly named because every time you threw that one of those goddamn Joy-Cons around, you're like, wee. Mr. Morimoto, what are you doing? Wee. That's the name
So
of
does
the
that same thing
console.
apply for the Wii U?
Well, actually, it's a common misconception. It's not the Wii U. It's the oh, because every time you try to play it, you got frustrated. But when they spelled it out phonetically, it spelled out Wii U, and they're like, we'll just go with it.
Either that or, like, everybody made that stupid joke when the system came out. Like, the name of it sounds like a police siren.
Yeah, but it didn't make any sense. They were gonna name it originally the Doe, but they couldn't get the licensing rights for Homer Simpson. Doe.
Still the lowest selling Nintendo system to date, I believe.
Fucking Virtual Boy's laughing at it.
Right?
Virtual Boy rolls up to it. Sup, bitch.
I strayed people's eyes and I still sold more than you. Top me, motherfucker.
I had 6 games that you couldn't play because they were just red messes.
I looked like a pair of goggles on a stand.
I looked like the backside of Johnny 5 after a colonoscopy. Like, go fuck
I actually
yourself.
played one of those fucking things. God, they were horrible.
The funny thing was, the Wii U had a really fun game, that zombie game. I forget what it was called, but I enjoyed the fuck out of that game.
Zombie U, it was called.
Yeah, that
I
was
think.
fun. I got it for the PlayStation when they ported it over.
Mm.
I fucking love that game. If I still had my PlayStation 3, I'd be playing that thing regularly. Like, that was fun.
And that system, the Wii U had creative ideas with it, especially with that game, like the inventory management stuff and other things you could do with the gamepad. It was creative for what it was. It was good. It's just that system. Again, Nintendo didn't have third-party support. They didn't know how to market that thing. It was a kind of middle-of-the-road idea that they just didn't know what to do with it. So
The very best thing of all was that there's a counter on this ball. So skip it. That's what PlayStation's doing with these conventions.
oh man, oh dude, oh come on, the metaphors, man.
So the Nintendo Switch could face a global shortage by April. This is the real epidemic.
Considering you want one.
Well, and also that, you were more than likely to run out of the Nintendo Switches before we are to have a global catastrophe with the coronavirus.
Yeah, it's from what I found, it's that it could possibly see shortages in April due to the concerns surrounding the virus. A recent shortage of components needed to make the console is the issue. The ones for just the recent batch went out, but it's the upcoming ones that could possibly face this problem. And they said that a spokesperson from Nintendo said that we do not see any major impact on the shipment to the U.S. currently, but we will remain vigilant and take steps if necessary. It's possible the supply would be affected by the virus if it becomes more widespread and prolonged. So they said they decided to postpone plans to take. They also decided to postpone plans to take pre-orders from Japan and Korea for the Animal Crossing bundle. And as of right now, the Japan online store is currently sold out of the console, and there are also shipment delays on a few of the games as well.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Could be happening. Yeah, it's possible it could be happening. Now, to date, I believe the Switch has sold 52 million systems. So
I didn't fucking realize
I believe that was the number. I believe that was the number.
That's pretty impressive. I think the Wii sold, what, 110?
What, million you're talking?
Yeah.
No. Dude, the Wii U didn't even make it to, like, they
didn't
barely
say the
crawled
Wii
to
U.
15
I said the Wii.
Oh, I thought you said Wii U. I'm sorry.
No.
A Wii, shit. Yeah, I believe it was, like, somewhere in the hundreds. What number did you say?
I said 110.
110. I want to say it's like maybe 150. I'm not sure if I'm right about that, but
It's like one of the more impressive selling numbers of all times.
yeah, the Switch is easily on track to be their best console, and rightfully so. It to me is their best system. And I know, yeah, everyone says that it's because it's the newest. No, it's because it's a great idea, and they're actually doing shit with it. And I don't know, it seems out of the ones currently right now the most fun to play. So
I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. That
mm,
may shock a lot of people.
not really.
In terms of functionality, everything that brought to the table, the GameCube for the longest time was its best functioning console. It was easy
Mm.
plug and play, let's go. But the Wii was its most successful because it was a party console. The Switch combines the love and respect of console-based gaming that you would see in the GameCube with the portability and the fun of the Wii, as well as the on-the-go capabilities and, as they say, Switch of a Game Boy handheld. It combined everything that that Nintendo did well into one console. That's why it's the best. You can play this any way you want. Like this game console does not have one preset. You can play it as a handheld. You can play it as a console. You can play it without, a base of a control. You can play it with the Joy-Cons on the screen. You can play with the Joy-Cons in a makeshift controller so you can feel like, you're back in the day. So just in its diversity alone, it's the best. And then it has some really killer games like Luigi's Mansion 3. Then you got Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of Breath of the Wild as far as the Zelda game goes. It's a great game, but I just don't consider it a Zelda game because Zelda games don't have breakable weaponry, which really pisses me off. I don't want to fucking have to deal with that shit. But it was really well received.
Don't forget Link's Awakening too. That was a great one too.
Link's Awakening. Mario Odyssey, where you got to have Mario walking around with giant humans. And then you got to like fucking fuck a dinosaur or jump your hat dick into a dinosaur. I don't fucking remember what the hell that game was about.
That's exactly in a derogatory term is about as best way you could describe it.
So like there's
literally just leaps into it.
There's a lot going on in this. So yeah.
Oh yeah, not to mention all the third party support now. It's fantastic.
Right. So I legitimately agree with you completely when you say it's the best of all the Nintendo consoles because I truly do believe that it is. My only complaint with Nintendo is that they are super whoring out the whole, hey, do you like, Link to the Past? You can buy it again for the 5th time on a new console. Cunts.
They're trying to find a loophole with it now and incorporate it into a streaming thing through the online service.
So they're going back to 1992 with the Sega setup?
They give you two apps on the thing and then you just jump into them and the library's there and you can just instantly play them. But they're releasing them at such a snail's pace that you'll never be able to play all the classics, man. It'll take fucking forever.
What was that Sega system setup called? The pay-per-view for the Sega?
Oh man, I know what you're talking about. That fucking weird ass internet link thing. What the fuck was that called?
Well, it wasn't internet. It was cable.
Sega Channel? Is that it? Sega Channel?
Sega Channel. Sega Channel and Nintendo had one very similar to it, where you, like for 3 or 4 hours a day you could play a game. Fucking weird.
Oh fuck yes. Super Nintendo had some weird thing where like you could, because I think there's still like live versions of like Legend of Zelda out there that had certain different rules to them or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, because it was
They had
about
like time limits on them or
points.
something. Mm.
Weird.
That's such a weird fucking. Oh.
All right, so moving on.
Hopefully you're not gonna buy a Switch by April.
Hopefully I can find one in April. StarCraft Ghost gameplay leaks 14 years after its cancellation. Any real thoughts about this? Because I
Well, the only reason why I find it interesting in general is because of it being that long for gameplay to leak for it, for one thing, and the other thing we've seen it on the Matt McMuscle's channel, him covering it and everything, and people are all excited about this. But then I took a look at it. The seven or so minutes you get of it, it's a pretty stock third-person action game. And to the best of my knowledge, wasn't StarCraft in general like a real-time strategy series or something?
Yeah, but I think there's like different versions of StarCraft.
Okay. I
Don't
That's what
play
threw
enough
me off a little
StarCraft to
bit.
know.
Mm.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I generally seek interest in like action adventure games. It's one of the genres I do like in gaming, and something like this probably would have been interesting for the time. But I see it now, and I'm like, I could I could kind of see why it got canceled. You know what I mean? There wasn't much there to go on, and it got canceled right at the time where the 360 was going to release too. So it was bad timing on the part of the series. It just took too long in the oven to get made, and too many issues, and here we are. So the best you're going to get is a build, and the build wasn't even that great. So it was just hard to it's really hard sometimes to like get the get games like this to be made. So many people trying to do so many different ideas when you can just put some creative energy into it and just get it out the door.
At this point, don't even bother. Just let it die.
Well, nobody cares about it now. Like then, yeah, now, no.
Yeah, it can just stay in development hell. And then finally, apparently people are freaking out because Smash Bros. Sakurai says that there's no plans for any more DLC.
Yeah, there's the whole talk of he's solely working on just the rest of this pass for the game, and then there's no plans to do any extra characters after that, and he has no new current projects in the works either. He's been in development of a few different games over the years. The one that stands out to me as of right now is Kid Icarus Uprising. He did make that into a 3DS game, and I would have liked to have seen that maybe become a Switch port at some point, just to have it find a new home on the console and give it a better control scheme. Because the 3DS version was I as much as I liked what it wanted to be, I hated what it was control wise, because it didn't work. And they tried to fix it by giving you like a stand to hold your 3DS, because at that time there's no two joysticks on the 3DS, and that game needs two to function.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to play this thing, 9 times out of 10, your hand's going to get cramped trying to hold a stylus pen while trying to move him and shoot with the buttons. That's why they made attachments for it. It just didn't work out. So I always hoped for something like that to get the port, which is one of the same reasons like why last week we didn't cover the story, but why I was in support of the Wonderful 101, because that game too had a control scheme and it worked well with the system, but I always wanted it to port to the Switch because I always felt like it needed a better home, because it wasn't as successful on the Wii U. So I for that reason I wasn't so much concerned, as I'm just kind of like, oh well, that's disappointing. Like I would like to see him make something different, because this is the only thing he ever really does. But that's on him. If he wants to polish it, if it's what he enjoys doing, then that's fine. That's fine by me. I don't know why Nintendo fans always get so up in arms about stuff like this. How many fighters in the fucking game at this point?
I have no idea.
Everything in fucking Nintendo, there's got to be at least close to like 80 or like something like that, maybe even 100. So that's not enough. You need more than that, and people are still like crying over like certain characters never being added. And who cares? Waluigi, really? I don't really care.
Neither do I. So
Yeah, because you've never been a fan of this kind of fighting like style for games, anyways. You always kind of, at least from what I know, you've been a fan of more like the traditional fighting games, right?
yeah, legit. Fucking hate Smash. Like always have. I have such little interest in the series. I hate the system. I hate the setup. I hate the skill set. I hate the character selections. Everything that I wouldn't enjoy about a game, they put into Smash. Ooh, a side-scrolling platform beat 'em up. You really got me on that one, Nintendo.
Well, the thing about it too is that I have kind of like a I always invest in the games that like the smashes that come out for the systems because I do want to try them, but once the first like month or so of the game being out is over, I almost never go back to them, which is why to this day I've sold most of the Smash Brothers games I have. The effect of them, the fun factor wears off after a while because once you've played it a few times, you've seen the features the new one has to offer. You move on.
I think the thing that is really just kind of part of the emblematic issue with Smash Brothers is they're not good single player games.
No, not even close.
You know, you have to have a party environment or want to be part of an online community to really get the full kind of net worth that the game offers. Now, if that's you, that's fine. That's what this game is made for. But when I play party games, it involves 3 women and a lot of whipped cream, not a fucking joystick.
Well, you could call it one.
Son, that's a sledgehammer. Ain't no joystick.
Doesn't it bring joy though?
It brings a lot of things.
Diseases. No, I'm kidding.
Only one. Chad fever.
Oh God.
I got the fever for the flavor. Oh, hey, 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 hey.
I could just picture somebody you do that to going to the doctor, going, "Doctor, I don't know what to do. I got Chad fever."
There's only one thing to do. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Indulge in your addiction.
Give in to it. Let it become you.
Go Star
Literally.
Wars. Go Star Wars. Do it. Do it. Do it.
He used the Force.
I don't know why that reminded me of Beavis and Bud. Use the Force. All right. So what are you watching on the YouTube?
Oh man, let's see here. One of the biggest ones that stuck out this week, I don't know if you watched it either, was Caddy's PS1 demo disc video. Did you watch that?
Yes. Really fucking entertaining. I didn't realize he collected goddamn demo discs. But then I realized that he was getting them from the PS Magazine from the UK side of things, the UK PS Magazine. I was like, oh, okay. Because I would never want to collect those.
He was really clever with like the visual gags in this episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the little tricks he played with like disc reading errors and stuff I thought were funny.
No, my favorite was, and I forget what he was doing, but like he did like the goddamn waddle walk outside, like right next to his house. He just like fucking did the high step. I'm like, what? Yes.
I'm very concerned about his insanity, but I also love it at the same time.
I think he's been reading too many comments and he's finally broken.
It very much seems like it. But no, like it's strange to see how those demo discs did evolve over the years too, because at the beginning they were so like there was actually something to them and like the demos were solid, but then after a while they started to lose their style and the features on them weren't as great anymore, and the games they did offer, it was irrelevant because most of them you didn't even care about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is I'm kind of familiar with that stuff because I used to when I first got my Xbox, I subscribed to the PlayStation magazine, so I did get those demo discs for them, and I have
say that again.
When I bought, I think it wasn't No, that's when I bought my 360. I
You
bought a subscription to the.
Wait, you bought an Xbox and subscribed to the PlayStation magazine at the same time?
No. I bought the Xbox and I subscribed to the Xbox magazine. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I Xbox, I subscribed to the Xbox magazine. I collected a few of these demo disc things myself, and they weren't any good at that. That was at the point where this good part had passed, because all the ones I would ever get, the demos for them were everywhere. They were all over it. So why do I need this disc? There was no point in them ever releasing that thing. It never made any sense. Plus the magazine itself, if they were giving review scores for games, I'm going, really? I don't care how much you like your launch title. Some of these just suck. Like Perfect Dark gets good scores? No, not Perfect Dark Zero. No, thank you.
All I'll say is I don't know why anyone would ever collect demo discs. Now, he did point out that a lot of the demo discs had like specials and extras and stuff that kind of like bring you in. And if more demo discs were like that, where you actually got like specifics for that disc, like I would be very much into that, like behind the scenes stuff. But most of the ones I played were just trash.
I had one for the original PlayStation back in the day where you could actually there was a list of games on the disc, but then it had like this square based like menu layout thing to it, and the actual icons themselves could flip back and forth, and on some of them they hid secret demos in them that weren't on the list. So I thought that was kind of cool. If you flipped them, you could try something else. I'm like, it's at least a nice little like Easter egg or something like that. But no, yeah, like seeing like having like behind the scenes featurettes and stuff, especially in a time before the internet. If I had ever found those probably would have been pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other than that, let's see what else did I do this week. Slope's Game Room, that documentary channel I watch, he did a video about 4 games to play before Streets of Rage 4 comes out. He's a very big like Sega Genesis geek. He's very geeked out about that.
3 of them, Streets of Rage 1 through 3.
No, they probably should have been.
Right? Like you missed an opportunity, kid.
Yeah, I actually downloaded and played two of them we mentioned in the actual list. One was an honorable mention he threw in there, and I gotta say, for the amount of money they actually cost, they were pretty good. I'll put them in an article that I still have yet to do, but. For anybody who's wondering, they're called Fight and Rage Streets of Red. That's another one. And what was the last? I forgot what the last one was. Fuck, off the top of my head, I can't think of it right now. It wasn't the Takeover, because that one's not on the shop. But those two you should. And 19.8X or something like that. It's supposed to be this big reference to the 90s. But yeah, all of them were like $40. So from what I've played of them so far, they're really good games. So based on his recommendations, I would say if you like fighting, like beat 'em ups and stuff like that, go try these out. They're good. So I do appreciate that from his recommendation. Another channel I've kind of been getting my head around lately is this channel called Mad Little Pixel. He kind of focuses on modifications of like older consoles and just kind of like random things in gaming. And he did a lot of things on like screen modifications for systems, like how to put like getting LCD screens for your older systems if you don't feel like always buying and upgrading these models. So I thought those were cool. Let's see. Other than that, you still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're still on. All right. RGT80. Yeah, I know. RGT85 did a video called for the six consoles he has that are they're supposedly rare. He bought them at a time where they weren't rare. I thought that was an interesting one. He normally does just Switch content, but I always mention things when he seems to like branch off a little bit and there's something actually retro once in a while. Um, Scott the Woz did a pretty funny video on the history of 3DS rumors and leaks. Those are always fun to watch. And let's see, the channel Beat 'em Ups did a video about the latest games coming from the company Super Rare, that limited run group of people. And there's quite a few in there I'm gonna try out, and they're the one company I've been buying these types of things from because they really support indie devs, so I think that's cool. As far as the rest of them goes, nothing really too relevant other than that. So I think that's about it on my end.
Couple good horror stories. Well, not really. Just realized that that's not actually true. Couple of bad horror stories. I still have a few videos I haven't gotten through. Matt McMuscle is releasing his videos on Sundays now, so I don't remember watching anything from him lately. Let's see. There was anything from Inside Gaming Daily is good enough to get you going in terms of like video game content, even if it's not like something overly memorable. They talked about the Sonic game. You have to say it like that, by the way. Sonic.
The movie you mean?
Yeah. The movie, the game, the movie. They talked about the movie, and they're like, it was fine. And like the two guys who didn't see it were like shitting on it, like, no one needed this. And then one guy who saw it was like, I actually liked it. It was actually good. So I thought that was pretty fucking funny. These two dweebs who are always like, yeah, be super like okay with gaming and be different, and they're getting trashed just because like they're like, yeah, we didn't see the movie, and it's terrible. And the other guy's like, then you shouldn't talk shit about the movie because it was really good. So it's good that it was good, and it's made its money back, and that's exactly how that's what's supposed to happen. Good movie makes good movie money. So kudos.
That redesign fucking helped for sure.
Well, that was actually one of their complaints, was that the redesign actually hurt their interest because they thought the redesign made the movie so much worse that it would have been fun to hate watch, and it would have been like a movie akin to like The Room. But the other guy's like, no, the redesign helped. People liked it. It's good they did the redesign because they made the money. So I laughed because these two guys are being pedantic as fuck, and it's just like, whatever. Whatever, you twerps.
Sounds like an entertaining channel. I should start watching it.
It's really funny, and the girl who's become the new EP, the executive producer, Autumn, she's not just cute, but she's also like my kind of humor. So like, it doubles up. She's attractive and funny. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly.
The perfect double whammy.
It really is. They're genuinely funny people, so it's pretty good. They got like a bunch of running bits. It's real good. Like they've got this old dude. He's like in his mid-40s, and like every time they throw to the news guy essentially, and the news guy's who's ever sitting at the table, and whenever it's his turn, the old guy's turn, he's just not there, so they Skype him in, and then the fucking Skype call usually drops while he's on. It's great.
I love the authenticity of all this, man. It's awesome.
It really is great. I saw a great video about what Baby Metal and Poppy reveal about metal fans. It's from the Punk Rock MBA, who does a bunch of music stuff. And the one thing that, like, if you are in the scene, you already know what it is. And it's that metal fans are fickle as fuck. They're like, we don't like this Baby Metal and Poppy shit. They got gimmicks. Because Kiss never had a gimmick. Slipknot never had a gimmick. Dude, metal might have more pageantry in it than pop music. Calm the fuck down. Just because you're now realizing
Kiss itself was a gimmick, dude.
Right? Like, just because you're now realizing that doesn't mean shit. Like, welcome to the party. God damn. Let's see. I've been watching a lot of this new channel. I don't know if I mentioned him last week. Only in Japan, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
Dude,
you did mention this last week.
oh, dude, I've been watching so much of his shit, and it's so good. Like he's not very funny, but he doesn't try to be. A lot of his stuff kind of seems like stuff you would see on like a documentary series, like like a meerkat's running around and bumps into another meerkat, and the announcer would try to be like funny, be like, and here you see two meerkats roughhousing. Like it's supposed to be a joke, but it's like a British joke, and you're like, that's not funny.
So it's just more informational than it is just entertaining.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and this is so and so street where they make steamed fish. And like the guy will make like a face while he's eating it, and he'll be like, "Yum!" I'm just like, this is corny as fuck, but it's really informative, and it really dives more into the culture of Japan, which I like because it turns out I'm very, I'm very adaptable to the Japanese way of life. They have this entire restaurant. And actually that's the incorrect term in America, but what it is it's a place that's open from like 10 in the morning to 11 at night, and it's nothing but vending machines, but they're what they're called hot vending machines. So like you can go there and you can get like a bowl of noodles, or you can get a toasted sandwich from these vending machines, and they're changed out daily or every other day depending on what the contents are. So like, there's never food in there that sits long, but there's no one there working. There's no attendants. There's no cleanup crew, because in Japan, it's disrespectful and shamed upon to leave any mess after you eat, regardless. So this place is essentially self-sufficient. And the owner, and the thing is this guy's apparently really hospitable, like the guy who does the videos. So like people are more than willing to go on camera and do interviews with him. And the owner of the store's like, yeah, if one of the machines ever eats your money, my phone number's plastered all over the place. You just call me and I'll be here, lickety split. So I thought that was like really cool. Like like it's just a place you can go and get like some quick food and go, and fantastic. But apparently, vending machine culture is a real thing over there.
Oh yeah,
because they have vending machines everywhere. Like they have vending machine, I mean, like 30 vending machines in a park. Like it's not uncommon to see like one or two, like at the like at a bus station or a train station here, or like maybe even like outside of a park entrance. But they literally have rows of 30 deep with all sorts of different things you can buy. I know like the old joke was like you could buy panties in a Japanese machine, but like that's not even the fucking tip of the iceberg. Like you can buy full on meals. Like they fucking nuke stuff. Like you get like you can buy a grilled cheese sandwich, I think, or not like a grilled cheese, but like a fucking ham and cheese kind of sandwich, and it cooks it right there in the goddamn machine. So it's crazy.
Insane.
Right? It's crazy, and I love it. And I love. I'm such a fan of learning about other cultures, and I've always kind of. I never looked down on Japanese people. I look down at Americans who are like, oh, I'm so into Japanese culture. Ah, shut up, you weeboo. But as I'm watching this stuff, I'm like, I get it. I'm a dick. I get it. This is really cool, actually. And like, there's like the video, the stuff is really cool. Like the whole channel's awesome. So I would recommend if you're a fan of like wanting to travel, but not having the time or the money or the ability to, like, this is a great way to explore beyond your means. So I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen certain videos, even like certain game channels. I've seen these people go to Japan and experience a few things, and one of the things I actually found out was that in Japan, some like kids will actually come up to you and practice their English to you.
Yeah, I buy that.
And I think that's pretty. And like you said, they're always respectful, so they want to like take a picture, or they'll give you something for it saying thank you. And I'm like, I think that's pretty fucking cool, man. Like I would love to go to this country and just check out everything, every bit of culture. I feel like it'd be a very fun place to be. A year ago, maybe. Now, I don't know what you call me now.
Easter Island head.
You dick.
So because I've watched that, YouTube suggests all these videos, and one of them was a Japanese guy who's doing his own kind of like Japanese centric videos, and he went around asking a bunch of Japanese women, do you like what Western men, white dudes? Do you think they're attractive? Would you date one? And if not, why? And do you think the language barrier would be an issue? And like every chick has vanilla fever. And like the ones who were like, I wouldn't date one, the guy's like, why? And she goes, it'd be too hard to communicate. And that's the only reason why, yeah, I find them very attractive otherwise. And like you would think like think of American men. How think of some adjectives to describe us.
Mm.
Just no, I'm serious. Like just spit some out.
I don't
Maybe I
even
should
know
ask
what
someone
would describe
smarter.
us.
Brash.
Huh?
Maybe I should ask someone smarter. Brash. Maybe cocksure. Opinionated. Domineering.
Irrational.
We're not talking about you.
He had to come up with one. I came up with one, dickhead.
Theirs were friendly, energetic, passionate, and I'm just like, bitch, please. They made it sound like fucking nice people. I'm just like, I don't mind living up to expectations, especially ones that aren't true. What am I gonna do? Shatter your reality? So like, I thought that was actually really cool. Like, it's interesting to see how the other half of the world lives at times. So I thought that was pretty cool. I have no idea what that video channel was called. That was not the same one that I was watching with the made in only in Japan, but it was something that I found off of it. I've also been watching this video. It's not so much a series. Like I watched one and now they're popping up randomly. People taking the train. That sounds weirder than it is, but it's not.
That sounds weird.
There's a lot of scenic train routes in the United States. And some people, you get a sleeper car, you get a sleeper bed, and you just you travel the rails. It costs less than a plane most days, and you get to hang out in a dining car at times. Like that's pretty cool. So they showed I watched some videos that talked about train travel, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I would travel in a train.
Mm-hmm.
I would travel,
especially if there's something to it, not just being stuck on a fucking RTA or something.
Oh no, it's not an RTA at all. No, like, these are locomotions.
That's cool. That's classic and cool. I like that.
Right. Can't hate on that. Let's see. I watched a lot of fights. Lots and lots of fights. I think that's it though. I watched a bunch of stuff, but not a lot of it was noteworthy. At least not this week. I didn't see a Stop Skeletons from Fighting episode, so.
No, he didn't. He skipped it this week. His last week's one was great, but yeah, he tends to skip every so often.
I've watched some Star Trek videos because I run a Star Trek blog now, and apparently the Enterprise is fucking huge, like the one from the Next Generation. The ship holds 1,000 people, but all 1,000 people fit in like a tiny portion of the ship. So like that means like the entire ship is like massive and huge. And I was like, I never knew that. Like, that's cool as fuck. I listened to a bunch of music. Apparently, Dorkly's not dead. Dorkly announced that they will be releasing videos every other week from here on out.
Well, that's good to hear. At least still get some content from him.
So the video I was talking about, what worries Japanese girls about dating Western guys? Interview from Nobita from Japan. That's the name of the channel. Nobita from Japan. And just randomly, I watched the Yako's World. The song. United States, Panama, Mexico, Canada, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
I love that. I love that fucking song, dude.
So good.
Do you like that one better, or do you like the Capitals one better?
I
From
like that
back
one
up?
better because I like the rhyme scheme because it's such a harder thing to do.
Oh, Rob Paulson is talented as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he is. United States,
Jesus.
Panama, Mexico, Canada, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
The speed he goes at, man, is impressive. Just fuck.
Right? It really is impressive, like what he's able to pull off. He deserves all the pats on the backs.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, anything else? I got into a lot of West Wing videos for some reason.
Talking about like the show.
Yeah, I watched like the first 3 seasons when it was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. And I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good stuff. And then I stopped watching. I don't know why. Oh, okay.
Isn't Dule Hill on that show?
Yes, and he's fantastic. I love him in that show. He's truly legit. So someone did a tour of the Enterprise D in Next Generation using the Unreal Engine. Apparently a bunch of video game dorks decided to come together and make it. And this guy downloaded it, and it's free to use. Free, and if you're good at coding, they're opening themselves up to allow people to come in and help if they want to take part of the challenge. So it's pretty cool. I thought that was a real interesting thing that they were able to do. It's a long ass video and it's a long ass tour, and not every room is accessible yet. So it's still like really early into it, but it's impressive nonetheless. I give them credit.
I've seen games come out like that recently. Especially one came out recently. It was for I think it was for the PS4, where it's called Dreams, I think, and it's just this basically create your own whatever you want tool, like, but just in a little bit of a higher resolution, like, than something like Minecraft. And people are making crazy shit in there. Somebody like remade, like, I think somebody remade like Fallout in that engine to a
Really?
degree. Yeah, it was fucking impressive.
Which
man.
Fallout?
Like in the 4, I want to say.
I'd be more impressed if it was 1 or 2.
Oh man, yeah, you're going back in the day, so yeah. But no, just like, or was it Mario? Got like a full like Mario 64 up and running.
That's
It's
impressive.
crazy.
This is a video you said?
Not a video. It's just it's a game. All this stuff is created in a game. It's created in a game called Dreams for the PS4. This was made by the Little Big Planet developer, Media Molecule. They've kind of dabbled in this a little bit with their second Little Big Planet game, where it had a big creative tool. Even Caddy did a video on some of the games in that back in the day. But there's a lot of like cool creative ideas that are in this almost like fully playable games, and the company's actually encouraging people to like, or developers and companies to go like, look at these people for potential jobs in game development, because of some of the stuff they make here is really creative aside from obvious licensed properties. I think it's really cool, and I honestly kind of want to pick up the game and just explore some of the stuff people created.
Well, that's about it for me.
Yep, same for me, man.
All right, be sure to check us out at the website, realnerdcorp.com, on Twitter at NERDCRP, on Instagram at RealNerdCorp. We're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Comic and GameCorp. You can also find us on Podbean at realnerdcorp.podbean.com, or by downloading the Podbean app to your mobile device and searching for Real Nerd Corp on the app. What are your personals?
I am at MNerdCorp on Twitch and also on Twitter.
I am on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on Instagram at the same hand. No, on Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. That's all I got. We're off next week.
Yep. Yeah. Gonna have some fun. Maybe play some games and just hang out.
We'll see.
Well, I'd like to, but that's up in there.
So, with all that being said, we're done. Matthew, why don't you take us home?
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll be back in 2 weeks for another game that Chad probably will hate me for choosing.
Nope, we're doing Mario.
Actually, no, it's the movie. That's right. The movie. I'm fucked up.
Yep.
Sorry.